A day in the life of property management. I got you. Her TikTok is down below.
From a Marine with a good standing LLC.
3 months of what?
The Disabilities Act, 206. So, if need be, can do that.
Now, personally, I've never heard of the Disabilities Act and it being brought up in some type of rental situation to where you can't get an apartment. Somebody shows up with police just because of the fact that they can't get an apartment in a certain building. Something's wrong off break.
I'm confused.
I don't need 3 months worth of income. I need you to unbelay for me, okay?
Well,
And it's building to building. She's acting like every single apartment should go abide by the same rules, really. For me, from my experience, I think it's building to building. For me, you know.
Look. Get on your phone or your computer.
no, I don't take orders from you.
And you should not. You take
Right.
orders from who you need to call.
Right. So,
Is that something we need to help you with?
Yes, help me please. My account was scammed. So after he watched me be assaulted by a group of police, they went into my apartment and robbed me and broke things. And used
She said my account was scammed. Okay.
some type of card to scam my Navy Federal account. They're requesting bank statements. The bank statements are evidence of a crime that we're going to court for.
I'll get it for you.
Okay.
And this young lady had something that
She has not.
So far, for the first few seconds, I'm getting, hey, I don't need 3 months of income. But then at the bank statements, like the bank statements are showing that you don't make enough or whatever. But she's like, nah, my bank account was scammed. I have a LLC in good standing, But you can still show some type of form of like deposits that come in. So now some go by, okay, you have to pay. They literally say you have to, one of your paychecks have to be at least, like if you get paid twice a month or whatever, one of those paychecks has to be 75% of the rent. So they know by the next paycheck, you'll be able to pay the full thing by the time rent comes around. But that's just some apartments. You know, some is just like you have to make a certain dollar amount a month or whatever. But I remember one of the last buildings I tried to get into, that first of all, the building I'm trying to get into is kind of exclusive, kind of not. A lot of people want to live there. And you can't even, like right now, there's no availability at all until like next year. Because it's by what's out there's affordable place to live. It's still kind of up there in price, kind of, but it's for what you get, it's worth it.
My LLC of good standing.
She's getting ready to get it for.
And never mind the whole 75% thing that I was saying there. I forgot to mention that, yeah, there's buildings that say, hey, you got to make 3 times the rent. So if your rent is $2,500, you got to make almost close to 10,000 in order for you to even be able to rent there.
All she has to do is print it out. No, I don't feel like sitting down, but if you do, you should invite yourself to as well.
I do personally think 3 times the rent is kind of ridiculous. Of course, they want extra insurance that you can pay the rent, but at the same time, because they're probably going to raise it year by year anyway by like putting upgrades in the building, supposedly. But then you also get these fake luxury apartments around in certain areas too. And fake luxury means, yeah, you go into the apartment, it looks nice, but under the walls, it really ain't. They be having like mice infestations and all type of stuff. Like they might put like 3 or 2 new appliances in, or do a trash paint job that looks good from the outside, but as soon as you walk in, you live there within 30 days, you're going to figure out that that's fake luxury.
Yes. I want that approved.
That's not how that works.
Yes.
Is that something that's feasible at this point, ma'am?
I told her if I cannot verify her income,
Simple.
we cannot approve her
Simple.
application.
Okay, so what do you need from Ms.
I sent them my social security. I sent them
Well,
that
if
I
you
work
look
at a
in the
medical marijuana
file,
farm.
If you look in the file, there's 3 pay stubs in
Don't
there.
show niggas my address.
Okay, I won't.
I already don't even want you in the building if you acting like this. I don't want you living there. You about to be a nuisance to all the residents.
Okay.
The 3 pay stubs that she provided are false pay stubs.
Oh,
She
damn.
admitted to creating them herself. She told me that the lady that she works for has not paid her that money yet. That's money
Damn.
that she's expecting.
That's all. It's a done deal. You showed me pay stubs that ain't even real pay stubs. You don't even have the money.
To receive. I told her we cannot count money as current income if you haven't received it
Exactly what I was saying. Well, she made up the pay stubs. She made up her own average.
yet. So
Meanwhile, back at gets $1,200 every month and has a business trying to help business owners. Meanwhile, back at runs at Wayne Metro Community Organization to help distribute COVID emergency relief funds for at $22 an hour. I can't go
Doing too much.
I told
She doing
her
too
the
much.
only
Explaining
way
too
we
much
can
is a
reverse the
wrap.
denial is if she proves her application.
Go to another building.
All right, y'all. Story time. Okay, so the lady in the video, she is an applicant for an apartment. She did not live there yet. She still does not live there. So she came in to fill out an application one day when I wasn't there. I don't know if I was on lunch or if I was just off that day. I'm not sure. But anyway, I wasn't there. She filled out an application. The leasing agent got all of her supporting documents, ID, Social Security, proof of income, XYZ. Once she gets all this information, she runs the credit check, background check, blah, blah, gives me the completed file for me to do a final approval. So I get the file, I go through everything. Right off top, I see something is off with these pay stubs. So I Googled the company. Nothing comes up. I call the number on the pay stubs, and a lady answers the phone as if I'm interrupting her day. Hello.
It's one of her friends.
Hi, I'm just calling to verify proof of employment for someone. Are you able to assist me? Is this a business? And she's like, no, this is not a business. I do not run business through this phone. Thank you. And hangs up.
Damn.
So I called
What's the business number? What phone do I call?
the applicant and back to let her know, hey, I can't verify your pay stubs at this time. If you like to provide an alternative form of proof of income, you can bring in your last 3 months of bank statements.
I would have gave her some slack. I would have been like, hey, they said that's not she doesn't do business through this phone. That's what I got. Do you have another number for the same person or whatever? The business number for the actual one you gave? Maybe you gave me a personal phone number to the person that actually runs that business. Like, what's going on? I would have I gave it, hey, what it, ma'am? You know what I mean?
To show that you're receiving these payments into your account, and we can use that. She goes off. Calls me out my name, tells me I don't know what I'm doing and I need to go back to Latin America. Hence, when she came in the last video and she says, you need to underlay for me. Yeah, she was trying to be funny.
What's this lady's? I don't know this woman's ethnicity. Ain't talking about, like, if she looked black, she could be Dominican, Puerto Rican, or something else. Who knows?
Anywho, so I tell her, like, listen, I'm not gonna argue with you on this phone. Either you talk to me like you got some sense, or I'm going to end the phone call and you can go about your business. So she continues yelling, cussing, fussing, calling me out my name. I said, okay, at this time, I'm just going to end the call and you have a great day.
Yeah, that's it. Oh, yeah. Real quick. Sometimes they do accept screenshots of your bank account, like your, that shows the amount you got paid, the dates and wherever, and they'll try to like match those up. Okay, he got paid this day, this month, this day, this month, and they'll do that. But I don't know if they even accept screenshots anymore because people doctor up stuff so much, And then, like she said in this video, she actually Googled the company and then called the company for proof of, So they're taking an extra step.
So about 20 minutes or so later, she comes storming in with the police. If you haven't seen that video, go watch it. Insane. So she comes storming in with the police as if they are going to force me to approve her application. Not gonna happen. So I did say in the video, like, hey, if we can reverse the denial if she gives me the paperwork, and I was just lying because I wanted her to get the hell about my office.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
The police that came in with her did not come in with her because she asked them to. There's more to that I'll get into later.
Has there been any situation to where the police help somebody get approved for an apartment that they got denied? Ever? I've never heard of that happening before.
Hold on. Okay, so part 2. I tried to get this story out real fast and end up forgetting something. So let me back up a little bit. So before she came in with the police, the lady who she said she worked for called, and I talked to her. She said, hey, I'm sorry. I said that, you know, this is
Did
not
she
a
call from the
business.
same
I don't
number?
have an official company, but I didn't know this was for such and such. So yeah, she does work for me, and she does get this amount that's listed on the pay stubs. But because I don't have an official company, I can't create pay stubs or W-2s for her. So she did it herself. I said, okay, thank you for the information. And she hung up.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so as soon as Miss
That didn't
Ma'am
sound like it was
hangs
anything
up,
that would help.
applicant Ann calls in and she asks, did my boss call you? Did she verify my income? I told you I worked there. I wasn't lying.
Yeah,
I ain't
her
got no
friend
reason to
Tanya
lie.
and them call you.
I said, I never said you were lying, but I still can't take these pay stubs because they're clearly fraudulent pay stubs. So you're still going to have to bring me 3 months of bank statements so that we can verify your income.
So they were gonna take the pay stubs. Why would you snitch on yourself if that? Y'all gotta have this orchestrated. Have her call. Get the pay stubs. Look, call your friend or whoever the lady is that's paying you under the table enough money for you to afford a place based off of what they pay you, not reporting to the IRS. They probably saw that TikTok. Say, hey, today I'm going to apply for this apartment. Be ready at the phone at this time, or on this day throughout the day. Be ready. I'm going to call you. I'm going to da-da-da. They might call you for proof of income. Hook your sister up. Or whatever. So then when she calls, you get the pay stubs. Da-da-da. Okay, I'm need to call. Hey, she's about to call you. Send a text out. I just gave her the pay. Boom. Hey, she works such and such. Boom. You got the pay stubs. You got the proof. You say, yeah, I don't, I don't, it's not official, but she does get paid for me a steady pay each month, such and such and such and such. You would have been good. But instead, for somehow something drove you to say I made these up myself. Because she made, maybe, that's, if that's still a 50-50. If she was a cool lease lady, then yeah, you might. I've seen people get hooked up before. It's possible. It all depends on the attitude. But you already coming in there with the police and everything. That ruined everything. She don't want you in her building at all. She might have asked for something that triggered her to say that. But I don't know what she could have asked her.
Got upset again, going off, this time exclaiming that she's only 5 minutes away and she can pull up and we can talk about it in person. I said, if that's what you want to do, go ahead. You can pull up. That's fine. I'm going to tell you the same thing in your face that I'm telling you over the phone. So be my guest. Come on in, right? Hang up. So about 20 minutes or so later is when she came in with the police. She came in talking about how she was a veteran and she was in the Marines, and that's what you heard her talking about at the beginning of the video. She should be honored and such. And then when she goes on to say that somebody broke into her
whole life story, don't mean a damn thing in this situation.
Her apartment, this is the reason why she's trying to move from where she lived, which was directly across the street. She's claiming that allegedly some guys broke into her house and she called the police. When she called the police, they were supposed to come out to investigate, when instead, allegedly, they robbed her and assaulted her, which is why she told the lady in the hoodie not to show the officers her address. And then the lady in the hoodie backed away from the officer. She was just trying to appease her. Now, the police came in not with her, but for her. And they came in trying to act like they were on her side when they were actually trying to put her in a clink.
How is the police trying to act like you on somebody's side to get an apartment? The police have no power in that type of sense.
Hold on. All right, y'all. Part 3, final part. Okay, so they done appeasing her at this point. Now she done gave fraudulent pay stubs and she in my office causing a ruckus. So they were there for her. Explain that part. So apparently, applicant Ann caused a ruckus at her own apartment building by urinating and defecating in the lobby, allegedly. Okay, and the police were called. They pulled up to get her ass.
Well, good thing she. No, they got that on camera. If they got that on camera and somebody else relayed that message to you, it happened. Well, I mean, she didn't say they got it on camera, but I'm pretty sure somebody do. Living in your building. Good thing y'all ain't let her in. Now she really ain't gonna get a place to stay. Well, I mean, maybe down the line, I don't know, but she just that whole situation right there you just said just wraps this whole thing up.
And she was coming out as they was coming in, so they followed her across the street, and her excuse for them to continue to follow her was that I told her she could move into this apartment complex where I was to get her away from the situation that
She lied and said
she
got the green light.
So they came in with her for that reason for her.
Yeah, she needed help.
So they started ushering her toward the door after she walked away from my desk and went to go antagonize my leasing agent, getting disrespectful all over again. So they're ushering her toward the door, and the same officer that asked her if she wanted to have a seat asked her if she wanted to hold his hand to make her feel more comfortable. And she said, "No, you ain't my man. I'm not about to hold your hand. You can't afford me." So
my bad. Okay, you got it.
Turns
you got
out
it.
she was a social worker.
You got it.
Who had been called to accompany the police to the other place
Can't afford yourself.
multiple times to make her feel more comfortable. Long story short, they get the lady over the front door, past the threshold of the front door, immediately put her in cuffs and took her away.
Yeah.
Amen. Amen. So
Don't come to
I
this
never
building
seen
or that
her
building
again.
ever again.
Thank God. And I don't know where she is. I just know that they put her on a 72-hour hold. If you know, you know. But yeah, that's the story.